This Flutter app displays the current date and time in 3 different formats with the help of a package that are installed in this Flutter project. In this video, I'll show you how to install a package in a Flutter project in 2 ways. The first will be through the pubspec.yaml file, and the second will be through the command line or the console or the terminal. I'll also show you how to remove a package from a Flutter project through the command line or through the terminal or the console. We will use this app as an example. I'm going to do this demo in Visual Studio Code. So the first thing I'll do is create a new project. So I'll go to this menu here, go to the file option, open the folder that I created specifically for this project. We will have 2 Flutter projects inside this folder. The first will be for demonstrating package installation through the pubspec.yaml file, and the second project will be for demonstrating installation through the terminal. I'll come to this menu here and open a new terminal, and I'll use the command flutter create demo_1 to create the first Flutter project. We can see from this folder structure here that our first project has been created. I have also added this .vs code folder here with this settings.json file, mostly to keep the IntelliSense pop-ups from showing up as I write the code. Let's now go to the main.dat file inside the lib folder to start writing our code. The first thing I'll do is set this device to Chrome so that we are able to later on run this app on the browser. Next, I'll change the title of this app. I'll remove the theme because we don't need it. I'll also hide the debug banner and remove the comments from this code as well as some of this code so that we remain with only a blank scaffold. Let's now go to our browser and head over to pub.dev to check out the package we're going to be using for this demo. Let me maximize this window, then zoom in a little bit so that we're able to read the words on this site clearly. At the top of this page, we see that we have a search bar, which we can use to find packages. We also have different sections on this page. We have this Flutter favorites, which are packages that are commonly used by developers and which are also of very high quality when measured against Flutter's standards. And these are selected by the Flutter team. We also have another section for popular packages. And when we scroll further, there's even more packages to check out. Note that there are Dart packages as well as Flutter packages. And of course, Dart packages would work in a Flutter environment since Flutter is built using the Dart language. So we'll go back to the search bar at the top here and type in INTL, which I'm guessing is short for international. Then we'll hit enter, and here are our results. This is the package we are going to be using today. You can see that all packages show up in a similar fashion. We have the name of the package in the top left corner. Then we have these numbers in the top right corner here. This being the number of likes. If you're signed into the pub.dev website, then you can like a package and you're able to sign in using your Google account. We also have pub points, which are very important for deciding the quality of the package. We're going to look at that just now. We also have this popularity score, which depends on how many apps in the last 60 days have used this package or have depended on this package. And so the pub.dev team tracks the number of downloads for every package in order to come up with this popularity score. Here we have a description of what the package does. Then here we have a version number. And we also have how long ago this particular version was published. We have the name of the publisher. This package has been published by the dart.dev team. This one has been published by localizely.com, and so on and so forth. Next to that, we have the license information. After that, we have a badge that says Flutter favorite, and this is for those packages that, according to the Flutter team, are of high quality and are really popular. After that, we have this badge that says Dart3 compatible. Then down here, we have the SDKs that can use this package, and that is the Dart and the Flutter SDK. So whether you're just using Dart for general programming or you're using Flutter for UI development, as we are doing in this example, you can use this package. Next to that, we have this platform information that shows us the platforms that this package supports. You can see that this package supports Android, iOS, Linux, macOS Web, and Windows. So these are all the platforms that Flutter supports. making this an excellent package to use. Then at the bottom here, we have a link to the documentation. We will be visiting this documentation in this demo and applying it to our example application. So this is the information that we get from the search results. Let's now click on this package and go to the package page. Let me also open another popular package so that we can have a good side-by-side comparison. We're going to also look at the HTTP package right here. And already we can see a few differences. For example, this scores higher on pub points. So let's open this package and we'll have a side-by-side comparison between the two. We will not use this HTTP package in our demo, but we will use this international package. So at the top, of course, we can see that this has the Flutter favorite badge, but this one doesn't. We've already talked about this publishing date information, the publisher, .3 compatibility, and the SDKs and platforms supported by this package. We can also see the like count here. If you're logged in, this is where you'd be able to like a package. So if I click like, it will ask me to sign in, which I will not do for now. Then below here, we have a number of tabs. We have a README tab, changelog, installing versions, and scores. In the HTTP package, we have one additional tab, which is the example tab. So the first tab, which is README, gives general information about the package. We also have some links here. This here is a link to the GitHub repo of this package. This here shows us the version number of this package, and if we click on it, it will bring us back to the same page. In this case, we have the version number, and we also have the publisher information. So if we click on this, it takes us to the page where we can find the information about this publisher. So let's go back to HTTP. Now, back in the international package, we have general information. Here is where you will find the information you need to start using a package. For example, on this page, we can find information on how to use this package to translate messages, as well as how we can use this package to format and parse numbers and date information. There's also information at the bottom on how to use this with bidirectional text. So that's what you get in the README tab of a package. For the HTTP package, it's pretty much the same thing. Just basic information on how to use the HTTP package. Let's now look at the next tab, which is the changelog tab. Over time, the publisher updates the package to add features or to improve the general functioning of the package. So you'll find all those changes listed in this changelog tab. This is the current version, and we can see all the updates that were applied to this version. This tab is related to the versions tab. Now the versions tab just lists the versions and the dates when they were published. So we can see that the very first version of this package was published 11 years ago. That was on 30th November 2012. Then after that, we had the second release on December 11th of the same year, and so on, up until the most recent version, which was released 47 days ago. So these two tabs go side by side. You can check out the changes for each new version from this changelog tab. Normally there's a third tab here, which is missing in this particular package, but is present in this HTTP package, which is the example tab. Now here you'll have code that you can copy and paste into your project to have a feel for how the package works. For this example, this would be your main.dat file. So if you copy this and paste it in your main.dat file and run your project, then you will get a feel for how this particular package works. This is one of the things that contributes to the pub points of a package, because it makes the package so much easier to use. And speaking of pub points, 140 is the maximum number of pub points that a package can score. The higher the points scored, the better the package. If we click on this pub points here and scroll down, we can see that this HTTP package has scored maximum points in all the 5 areas. So it follows dat file conventions to the letter. Under the drop down, you can see more information pertaining to that. Also, it provides good documentation, as well as supporting all the platforms that Flutter does. Beyond that, it also passed static analysis when it was published, and it supports up-to-date dependencies. To learn more about pub points and how they are awarded, you can visit pub.dev/help/scoring. And there you'll get all the information pertaining to likes, pub points, popularity, and the specifics of how pub points are awarded. And this will really help if you are planning or are already in the process of publishing your own package. So let's go on to the next tab, which is the installing tab. Now, this is what we are here for. We want to learn how to install this package in our project. We have options, as you can see listed out here. If we are working with Dart, then we can use this command dart pub add intl, but in this case we are working with Flutter. So this would be the most appropriate for us, Flutter pub add intl. But if you prefer to work directly with the pubspec.yaml file, then you need to add this line to the pubspec.yaml file. And then after installing the package into your project, you need to import it inside the Dart file where you would like to use the package. So we'll start with the pubspec.yaml method. So this is what we shall be adding to our pubspec.yaml file. So I'll copy this, then go over to our IDE, go to the Explorer, and go to the pubspec.yaml file. I'll close this Explorer so that we can have more space for our code. When we scroll down, we come to this dependencies section. So there's dependencies and there's dev dependencies. Dependencies is where you'd want to put this package. So dependencies that are used in the actual running of the app should be put under dependencies, but those packages that help you while you develop your app but have no impact once you ship your app should be put in the dev dependencies section. For example, we have this lints package, which I talked about in my lints video, which helps you follow best practices as you're coding. This is appropriate under dev dependencies, but not under dependencies. So we'll have our package under dependencies. So underneath Cupertino icons, I will paste this line, and you can see Flutter pub get runs automatically. So every time you add a new line here, most likely pub get will be triggered. We have this download button here that says get packages when you hover over it. So if Flutter pub get does not run automatically after you've added your line under dependencies, you click on this button and Flutter pub get will run. So this will fetch the files from pub.dev and put them into your project. Now that we have installed this package, when we go to our main.dat file, we are able to import it at the top. So we can say import package intl/intl.dat. If you want to know the correct phrase for importing your package, go to the website, and at the bottom here you will find the correct phrase. So this is what we have used to import this package into our main.dat file. So now I'll create a second project and try to import this package without installing it inside the project so that we see what happens. So I'll go to this menu here. I'd like you to note that this will run whatever command I put in inside the packages demo apps folder, which is this parent folder here, because at some point we will need to run commands specifically inside the demo folder. So just keep that in mind. So just fast forward this part where I create a new Flutter project called demo_2 in a folder called demo_2. Now we are inside this demo2 project and we have not installed the intl package in this project. So I'll go to the top here and try to import it. So import package intl/intl.dat. And we have this red line, which means that this package does not exist in this project. So we need to install it, and we are going to install it using the second method, which is the terminal method. So this is a new terminal, and I'll use the command flutter pub add intl. And when I run this, we will have an error. And the error is expected to find project root in current working directory. And the problem is we are trying to run this command in the packages demo apps directory, which you can see in the Explorer here. This top level directory here is where we are trying to run this command, and that's why we are having this error, because this directory is not a Flutter project. But this demo_2 directory is a Flutter project. So we need to be running this command inside this directory. So we'll need to change the directory here using the cd command. cd stands for change directory, and we put in demo_2. So now our terminal has changed to packages demo apps / demo2. And if you ever need to go back to the parent directory, simply use cd and 2 periods. And when you do that, it takes you back to the parent directory, which is packages demo apps. So let's go back to our demo2 directory, and then let's run flutter pub add. So flutter pub add intl. We can see that flutter pub get is running, and it's running to fetch the files of this package and put them in our project. Right away, we can see that this has changed from a red line to a yellow line, because it now means that this package now exists in our project. It's just that we are not yet making use of it. So let's quickly create 3 text widgets that will display our current time and format the current time using this package so that we can see this package in action. Then after that, we will remove this package from our project using the terminal. So I'll minimize this Explorer here. I'll also minimize this terminal, and I'll go down to the scaffold, and inside the body property, we will have a center widget because we want our column centered, and the child of this center widget will be a column widget. Now for the children property, we'll have 3 text widgets. For the first text widget, we will use the date format class, which we are getting from our import, and we will supply the format which we would like to use. And then we want to use this to format the current date, which is date_time.now. To get the different formats that you can use from this package, go back to the website, then go to the API reference, which is on the panel on the right, and then go to this intl library in this list. Then on your right, you will see this panel that says classes, and we are specifically dealing with date format. So when you come to this date format class and scroll down, we can see the list of formats that we can use. For example, in our case, we have used this specific format. So year, month, and day. There's many formats that you can use, and there's also examples that you can follow. And these are the results that you would get if you used these formats. So back in our .dat file, let's create our second text widget. You can see that this format is slightly different, and if we consult the documentation here, check out what this is, we can get additional information. But basically what this does is it adds the weekday to the format. Let's now create our last text widget. And this is an example that I have lifted from here. So this is the exact example that we're using in this case. Now that we're done writing this code, let's go back to this menu and go to run, start debugging, so that we can build this app and see the current date in the different formats we have specified. Our app has been built, so I'll close this inspector tab here. I'll also close this debug console, and I'll close this panel here. So we can zoom in on our app to see these date formats nicely. Of course, if you want these text widgets to move to the center, you can come here and set the main axis alignment to center, and then hot reload the app. So now we can see the 3 text widgets displaying the current time, which is 10:38 a.m. But the first one just displays the month, the day, and the year. The second adds the weekday, and the third displays the date in digits and also adds the time as well as the AM specification. So let's say in our project, we'd like to remove this package, probably because we have found something that does a better job of what we are trying to accomplish. You can remove the package through the terminal. So I'll come here, file terminal, new terminal. So let's change the directory to the demo2 directory, demo_2. To remove a package, we use the flutter pub remove command. Then we add the name of the package. So this would be flutter pub remove intl. And then we hit enter. So you can see that pub_get is also running. And when the process completes, we get this red line, because now this package no longer exists in our project. And if we scroll down to the places where we used this package, which is in these text widgets, we also get red lines, because now these are classes that are not defined anywhere in this project. Also, if we go to the pubspec.yaml file under dependencies, the dependency is gone because we have removed this package from our project. So that's how you can work with the pubspec.yaml file or the terminal to add and remove packages in your Flutter project. If you have enjoyed this video and found value in it, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might find it useful as well. And if you haven't already, you're very much welcome to subscribe to this channel with the notifications turned on so that you get notified every time I upload a new video.